Should Be Something number 4 says, uh, the secret to Donald Trump's success. For some reason, not coming. The secret to Donald Trump's success. This comes with a video. Let me copy the link just in case it don't work well on my end. Try share my screen. So we're talking about Trump. We're talking about the madness that's coming along with it. Let's watch a few minutes of this video, and then we'll discuss it.
All right. So let me conclude now by talking about these great figures that have emerged. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the class, without Robespierre, Napoleon would not have been possible. All right. So this chart shows us how. You compare Robespierre and Napoleon. Robespierre obtained his power through virtue and dedication. He worked 18 hours a day. He was completely dedicated to the revolution. He had no girlfriend. He had no money. He was not being paid for his work. All he was doing was to ensure the revolution would succeed. And because of his dedication and virtue, the revolution was saved and it succeeded. Okay? So without Robespierre, the French Revolution would not have been possible. He was a prophet of reason. He believed that everyone had the capacity to reason. So if you present a logical argument, people would understand it. Okay? And that was both the source of his virtue, but it was also the source of his downfall, because he could not imagine that his friends would conspire against him because they wanted to protect their own self-interest. Okay? And the third thing about Robespierre that's important is he saved the French Revolution. Now let's compare him with Napoleon, okay, who's the complete opposite. Napoleon got to where he was because of political maneuvering. He was able to identify political patrons early in his career, and he did whatever they asked of him. And then together, they launched a coup d'etat against the French Republic. And after the coup d'etat succeeded, he betrayed his political allies. And he amassed power for himself. That's how he became emperor, okay? So Napoleon, he's a great politician. We think of him as a general, but he's really a politician. The thing about Napoleon that made him so successful is his myth-making genius. He understood that people are looking for myths, and he knew how to present himself as a mythic figure, like the Messiah, okay? And as a result, he destroyed the French Republic. Now, what's interesting is that if you look at human history, figures like Napoleon appear always at the end of a republic, okay? So Napoleon killed the French Republic, but they have Julius Caesar, who is of the same personality, okay? Julius Caesar was able to identify political patrons very early on and outmaneuver them as they amassed power. Julius Caesar was focused on creating a myth of himself as this unbeatable general. And as a result, he destroyed the Roman Republic. Later on, we will study Hitler. Guess what, guys? Hitler follows the same pattern. Okay? Hitler was able to amass power because he outmaneuvered his political patrons and allies. We will study this, okay? Remember, the Nazis did not come out of nowhere. The Nazis were a force incubated by the German army in order to destroy the communist movement. Okay? And Hitler took advantage of this. Hitler got to where he was because he created a myth of himself as a savior of the German people. Right? And then he destroyed the Roman Republic. Okay? Why is this important? Because it's entirely possible we are living at another inflection point in history where the American Republic may be destroyed. Trump, okay? How did Trump get to where he is? Political maneuvering. Why is he president? Because he has a myth-making genius, okay? That's really important to understand about Trump. Everyone's like, Trump is a terrible business person. He's lost a lot of money. Trump doesn't understand tariffs. He doesn't understand the economy. He doesn't care. He understands mythology, okay? He understands how to capture people's attention. He knows how to instill an image of himself as a Messiah in people's minds. That's what he cares about, right? He doesn't need to succeed. He needs to act. And then he needs to present himself in a way that captures people's imagination. What does Trump spend all his time on? He spends all his time talking to the press. That's his job, okay? Do you understand? His job is not to think about economics or military matters. His job is to talk to the press and create an image of himself as a Messiah to the American people. Okay? So the question then is, okay, well, listen, if we see this pattern, Napoleon, Caesar, Hitler are the same person, the results are the same, and Trump is similar to Napoleon, Caesar, and Hitler, what's going to happen? I don't know. Okay? All right? But, okay, and this is really important, if in fact, in the next 10 years, and it will probably take 10 years, if Trump actually destroys the American Republic, okay, then a pattern emerges in history. All right? And if this pattern is consistent, now we're able to control history because we're able to foresee and predict history. Okay? So that's the idea. Okay, that's it. Any questions? Was this clear to you guys? All right, good.
If Napoleon is so selfish, why would about how to pronounce the man's name?
Robespierre.
Robespierre being so obedient for him.
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, why did Napoleon succeed where Robespierre failed? Okay, so the difference is this: if I'm Robespierre, I believe everyone is capable of reason, right? Therefore, you have a responsibility to reason for yourself. You understand? I will give you ideas, but you must come to your own conclusions. You must act independently of me, okay? And Napoleon's like, no. People don't want to think. People want to believe. People want to obey. If I present myself as Messiah, and I tell people, follow me, and I will lead you to paradise, people will want to follow me, okay? And people love this confidence, right? This charisma, this confidence of Napoleon. Think of Trump, right? Maybe you and I think Trump's an idiot, but if you're a normal person, you believe that Trump, he is a genius because he's so confident, right? People are attracted to confidence. Does that make sense? People are attracted to logic or reason and charisma. Trump tells everyone, follow me and the world will be fine. We will make America great again. And you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter, okay? What Trump has done is create a mythology that has captured people's imagination. And as such, people are willing to die for this. Does that make sense? That's what made Napoleon such a great military leader. Because he had this confidence. And people just had to follow him, okay? Does that make sense? Okay, great question. Any more questions?
So I don't understand how Trump is myth making. What's his steps?
Okay, myth making, okay? Myth making is, all right, there's reality. Okay, why is Trump a myth making genius? Okay, there's reality, right? These are things that you and I see every day. And then there's myths. These are ideas that we have about how society works, okay, about how the world works. Now, objectively speaking, Trump is a failed business person. His father was a great business person, Fred Trump, who built a real estate empire. And then Trump came along and took this empire over, and he almost bankrupted this empire, okay? And so Fred Trump was spending a lot of his time thinking about how to make money. Like, how do I make a great business? How do I hire good people? How do I motivate them? How do I steal more money from the government, okay? So he was focused on the very specifics of running a business. Trump is like, no, people don't want that. People want to see a successful billionaire, okay? And what's a successful billionaire? He sleeps with beautiful women, right? I'm going to find beautiful women, and I'm going to sleep with them, and the press is going to report it. And then people were like, oh my God, this guy is a god, because all these beautiful women want to sleep with him. Therefore, I should give him my money to spend, to invest, because he's a genius, okay? What people want is a mythology of success. Does that make sense? So what made Trump actually really famous is a show called The Apprentice. The Apprentice, it's a TV show, it's made up, and the show presents Trump as this extremely wise and forward-looking business person. And he's the opposite in reality, okay? But what Trump understands is really important is people don't care about reality. People want to watch a TV show that's exciting, that's interesting, that's fun. So if I turn politics into a TV show and everyone's watching all the time, they will always want me to be president. Does that make sense?
So they don't care about what it looks like. Great.
Yeah, because, yeah, okay, so is perception more important than reality? And the answer is yes, okay? And the reason why is reality, it is very hard. It's very difficult, all right? People prefer simple ideas, simple myths that allow them to better navigate reality. That's why religion is important. Okay? So what Trump's doing is he's creating a religion. He's creating a religion about himself, right? And it's really the same idea as Napoleon. Napoleon says this, right? I saw the way to achieve my dreams. I would found a religion. I saw myself as marching into Asia, mounted on an elephant, a turban on my head, and in my hand a new Quran that I would have composed to suit my needs. MAGA is a new religion. Okay? Make America great again.
Okay. Should be topic number 4. Last topic for tonight. The secret to Donald Trump's success. Where do I want to begin with this one? Let me mix it up a little bit. Let me start with Sister Alma. Sister Alma or Cheryl. The secret to Donald Trump's success. We'll say it. All right, maybe Cheryl left. Let me go to, I guess, I Can Fire. I Can Fire. What say you?
Uh, yeah. I don't really talk about white people much, but okay. And I wouldn't what you advise any immigrant to speak badly about um the present um the present
Well, Robespierre, Napoleon
leadership.
would not have been possible.
So the present rulership, I don't think people is wise to, because they kind of rigid right now. Um, I don't know about the secret of his success. I guess it's because he white. You feel me? That's his secret. Um, yeah, he lives off white privilege, and that's why he's defending it. You feel me? Um, as far as I'm concerned, most white people is just good at business because they are they are they have legacy money, and they have white privilege between each other. They see each other as somebody that's supposed to be successful. So I guess that's the reason. A lot of white people, most white people, is just because they don't want to be rich. Why they not rich? White people have the opportunity to be a lot of things. You feel me? But I don't really have much to say about him. You feel me? Except I would like the war. I would like the stuff in the Caribbean to stop though. You feel me? That's what I would like. I would like all of that to stop. You feel me? Mm.
All right. Thank you for that. Let me hear from Black Steel on this. Black Steel, what say you?
So this is my thoughts on this situation, right? Um, I don't necessarily disagree with everything he's saying, right? But the secret to Donald Trump's success, right, is that he appeals to a certain element of the American society, right? So the United States is a unbelievably racist country. Let's just put it out there, right? So what has happened over time is that just the sheer naked racism is just considered to be, so it was at one point considered to be unpalatable, right? You can't just come out and say nigger and darky or whatever type of racial slur you would talk about. There was a point in the United States history where people would literally advocate for lynching Black Americans on the U.S. Senate floor, right? But now you can't do that anymore. You lose votes that way. But what happens is that Even though Bush was racist and Reagan was racist and all the other Republicans and Democrats were racist, they didn't express it. They weren't vulgar with it. Donald Trump is the vulgar racist, right? He's the open racist. And he appeals. His open, naked racism is very enticing. He says the things that these racists want to say. And that is why he's so successful. I mean, he got fired from The Apprentice because he said some racist comments about Mexican people, only to turn around and become president of the United States. So Trump once said, I could kill somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue, and I would not lose votes. And he's absolutely right. He was not lying about that statement. He could, because what he does, he speaks to something within the white voter, right? Within the white American. You may be bad off. Your life might suck. You might not have health care. You might not have, you can't retire because you got to work until the day you die, right? Your children are dying from opioids, but at least you're not black. And I'm going to make these black people's life harder than what your life is. So that's one reason why he's so successful, because he appeals, he speaks the language of his base. And he feeds his base red meat from time to time. If you think him going killing these people in Venezuela or murdering these people in international waters, right? That's not going to do anything about the drug trade. But what his base sees, oh, look at Trump being aggressive. He's going after those people bringing drugs to our community, right? So they feed on that. That's why he's successful, right? When he says, when you go to the federal website and it says the government is being shut down by the radical leftists. Huh? But I did check. It does say that. So when you have something like that, he's appealing to his base. He's appealing to that. He's successful because he's able to give the average white person the psychological bump that they need, and at the same time, he's working for the corporation, the big businesses behind the scenes, trying to steal whatever money that the American people might possess and deprive them of everything they have. So he's successful because he's able to walk in both worlds, right? But overall, I would say that just he's able to speak the language of these demons out here.
Well, look, can I say something?
Yeah, I need you to mute your mic when you ain't speaking, man. That noise be coming through. But go ahead, keep it brief.
Oh,
You have
oh
a
yeah.
few.
I didn't notice. Sorry. Hey, look, man. Listen. Perhaps if I had voted, I would have voted Republican. The reason is. Let me tell you the reason. I could never vote with the homos. It's just not possible. I could never vote with them, and I can't take seeing them. You feel me? I almost can deal with racism instead of dealing with those type of things. You feel me?
Bruh. No, I don't feel you at all. Actually,
What?
Yeah,
I don't feel
I
you
don't.
at all
I,
because
actually,
the gay people are not the people that's causing the problems in the world.
yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care
What?
about that. You feel me? I don't care about that. I can't deal with Sodom. I can't deal with seeing grown ass men acting like women.
But
I
if they're
prefer
not
the
trying to sleep with
I,
you, what's the problem? If they're
I,
not messing
I
with
prefer
you,
to deal with racist.
okay, all right.
Any
Well,
day. I prefer to deal with the racist any day.
that's madness. But okay, finish your thought there for me, I think.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is there is a lot of things that Trump is doing that I agree with. I don't agree with the Venezuela thing, but inside America, I agree with a lot of things that he's doing. You feel me? And I think it gonna benefit the country. You feel me?
Give me
I
an
think
example. Like, what's an example of something you agree with he's doing?
he is tampering with food stamps and social housing. I think that's a good thing. You feel me? I think he should give it to men. I think he should give it social services to young men, 20 years old to 30, 35 years old. People, the whole society is turned upside down. You, women cannot be good by themselves. If the man is not good, the woman cannot be good. So I think that social housing and what you call um food stamps, I think it should be granted to fathers. You feel me? And that he can house his woman and his children. You feel me? And the government support him to maintain his life while keeping a job. You understand? And grow from there. You feel me? The way they doing it, that's how the ghetto maintain. You feel me? So I think that's good what he doing. Only thing he's not, he should just turn it over to the other side. But he's not gonna do that. But and also the soldiers. I think that it is good that he's putting these people in the neighborhoods. You feel me? That's um troublesome and all that stuff. I think that dudes need to cool the hell off. You feel me? And witches need to cool off also. You feel me?
So,
I
brother,
just
how are
don't.
you a Rastafari and a Nazi at the same time? How is that possible?
I'm actually racist, dude. I only love black people. In case you didn't know.
Black people
Here?
can't be racist. Black people cannot be racist, though.
Well, okay. I'm prejudiced. Well, me, I'm selfish. I just love black people alone. Don't love the rest of the people. I like them and I tolerate the rest of the people. But my love and loyalty is to just black people. See that? See that? Yeah.
I can
And
fire.
I don't want the manufacturing of homos in our community. How about that?
I can fire real quick. So Sarah in the chat wants to know where are you from, man?
Oh, Miss Rara, Miss Empress Ra. Me come from Jamaica, Empress. And you know that too. You feel me? You know that too, Empress. Me a Rasta.
She probably thought you was from St. Thomas or something like that.
No man, she know man. She a Jamaica, be a part what she write and she only write patwa. She don't write English. She writes patwa.
Let me
Mhm.
hear from
I
let me
have a
hear
question.
from yeah. Go ahead.
I have a question for my brethren, but I'll hold it until I finish. I can hold it until I finish. So I used to believe. By the way, it's very wise that Icon fire. Close your mic, Icon. Close your mic, brother. Close your
Oh
mic.
yes, yes.
Yeah. So it's very wise that Icon fire wanted to hold his powder because we living in a time when people are looking. By the way, this particular government that he endorsed, looking into these kinds of comments to find out who is who, so they'll kick them out of the country. But it's very wise that he wanted to hold his powder in commenting on the president. I don't know what the situation is in America, but it's wise to do that. But I would say this is the same kind of conversation I was having with Kofi before, because I used to believe and think that people made decisions based off of reason and not emotion. I used to believe and think that, right? So I used to believe and think if I had the greater argument in terms of having a conversation, having a reasoning with someone, if I had a greater reasoning, they would be able to come closer to me. But Trump has made me understand that people make decisions based off emotion and not reason. Reason come later. They can justify their actions afterwards, but they probably gonna make a decision based off of their emotion. And Donald Trump has had the ability to trigger the emotions of many, many people. And this is what made him popular. And what I told Kofi is for the Democratic Party, if they want to appeal to the masses of people, they need to be less Harvard trying to appeal to people on the Harvard kind of level and be more WWE, be more WWF, because people are, they are moved based off their emotions rather than reasoning. But to my brethren icon, the only question I had for him, and this I have to come back to this. My brother said he only loved white people, black people. But do you believe that the president of the United States share your opinions on loving black people, brethren? Because all his policies is harming. Well, I understand where your perspective is, but some of his policies are harming black people. So you can't. I don't know if you could be. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
You can't have
I
it both
mean,
ways.
all right, listen. Maybe, maybe his policies will stop some of the twerking. You feel me? Maybe the policies will make a person reflect that they should be in defense of black people and stop walking around the earth like you was born by yourself. You just appeared on a goddamn clothesline. You feel me? You have no responsibility to your race. All these people need to get reality check. You feel me? Why you denying the unity of your race? Huh? Why are you not unified with your race? When are you going to deal with the infrastructure for your race? If people make you comfortable, that you think that everybody's supposed to be on Broadway and walking on Manhattan with white people and all that stuff. You feel me? If they don't get a reality check, when are we gonna wise up? It's the same thing going on in the Caribbean, where people think that them and white people is friends. You feel me? People think that them and white people gonna walk hand in hand on goddamn no beach. You feel me? And now look at them now. You feel me? White people flying planes all over us now. Anything can fall on any one of us now. And they're showing you that they never liked you. So why you not liking your own people? Forcing yourself on white people. That's what we've been doing, trying to force ourselves and tap dance for white people to like us. That's what we've been doing over the 60 years of most of us independence. You feel me? If it's even in secret, we should have been unifying clandestine type shit, hidden type shit, overt type stuff. You feel me? Or covert. I don't remember which one. You feel me? Secret type stuff. And unify and build bridges with each other.
So 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 icon. So you
Yes.
believe brother, that a ruthless slave master. Let me say a ruthless slave master. But a man like Donald Trump could cause black people to be able to come together because he's so wicked in his ways.
Yeah,
He
it's
is
like it's like a bad thing happen, like a natural disaster type thing. You see me? Where you drop all your petty grievance, you drop all your dirty behaviors, and recognize your neighbor. See what I mean?
I understand. I understand. I just
When,
want to
when- yeah,
understand.
when people need help, they'll grab at when people are drowning, they'll grab at a straw. You see me? All this cockiness with each other. Oh, I'm better than you and you better than me and I'm lighter and you're here more. soft or you're more rough. All them type of little stuff we have destroying each other and destroying our economy that we supposed to have. You feel
Yeah,
me?
but realistically, these guys like trying and mute your mic, I can say. These guys like Trump and them, they don't ever wake up the people. We've been going through this for how long now? These guys never wake up the masses like folks for some reason keep thinking will keep happening. Afro Native World in the chat says that's why I've seen several black nationalist organizations root for Trump to awaken our people. I know that sounds a bit demented, but I've seen it several times. Yeah, that's and that to me is the weak part. That to me is the weak part. The thing we're supposed to be doing is avoiding guys like Trump while building up our character and our resolve and building up our power and our aims for power and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't wait for Trump to come along. You don't wait for a Trump to come along to somehow scare you. It doesn't work. Bush didn't scare you. The other Bush didn't scare you. Uh, it just does not work, and we got to get off of that.
It's
Like the Matrix says here. Hold on a second, brother. Like the Matrix says here. The Matrix says removing the social safety nets that guarantee contracts and jobs to black people is not black love. That's all that happens. A bunch of black folks who most likely have some sense, they get damaged. They're the ones who hurt. The other folks who wasn't about nothing, they'll still not be about nothing. That's the problem we have. Is the aware, the conscious. That's who's gonna get damaged. Cheryl, I had called on you earlier. I guess you didn't hear me when I called on you earlier, but Sister Cheryl, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, like I guess I see what people are trying to say, but I think when people say they're calling on Donald Trump to wake people up, I don't think they're calling on him to wake people up. I think they're observing that people, black people who would have otherwise not have said nothing or would have not unified in the West are now doing so because he is in office. And you would see, like for instance, when Obama was in office, black people just thought life was great. Like black people just thought, and if Kamala Harris got in office, so many black people would just, oh, everything's great. Oh, we have a black woman in office. What do you have to complain about? And so for a white nationalist to come into office to show black people this is what this country is really about, because a lot of people were being disillusioned into thinking that this country, oh, it might be changing a little bit. It, for Donald Trump to be in office is a smackdown in the reality that this country is never going to change. And that's what a lot of people, a lot of
Yeah.
black people in this country are coming to grips with, and they can't handle it. And so, in that respect, I think it is a great thing that he's in office, because guess what? It's time for you to get up off your black ass and time for you to be a black nationalist, because he's a white nationalist. And you cannot hope or believe, there's nothing, it should be nothing in your mind to believe that we are going to be a united nation, that we are going to just 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 frolic in the dandelions and just be great in this country. It's nothing. It's without a doubt, because Donald Trump is in office, is forcing black people to do what they have to do. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't like that, but unfortunately, if Obama was still in office, or if Kamala had gotten in office and we tried to talk like black nationalists, we tried to talk like bringing black people together from all backgrounds, black people just looked at you and laughed like, ha ha ha, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? We got a black female president. Nobody would be, no, everybody would be nonchalant, and everybody would be standing on the sidelines. So in that respect, I say it's great that he's in office.
I'll disagree in that the FBA and ADOS type of divisiveness has grown under Trump. I think we're more apart now than under Obama and them. So I don't see where Trump is changing anything. All Trump is doing is hurting a bunch of black folks,
Yep.
and
Okay. Mhm.
we'll see where that goes. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cheryl.
No, I think I know what you're saying when you say the FBA thing, but the FBA thing was going to gain traction regardless of who was in office. He's just on a tirade, he's on a thing. Um, I mean, that was always going to be a thing. But I mean,
The
in terms of
FBA was
what I'm
what
saying
was
is that
done for Trump.
what I'm saying is that the West, in other words, it's not. How do I say it? It's like you see more unification now. That doesn't mean there's going to be an actual change for black people, but you see more like because there's a lot of black people who are conservative who just shut up and they just didn't say anything and they just kind of went about their day. Doesn't mean that their lives are going to be better. It doesn't mean that there's going to be I don't know, less hangings of black people under Donald Trump, because there was a lot of hangings of black people under Obama, and there was a lot of hangings under all of the administrations. So I mean, for Donald for I mean, Donald Trump is just the final boss for black people, because black people never, especially if you're brand new to this country, most people ain't never seen nothing like this. So it's like, to them it's just like, oh my goodness, oh, this is so scary. But this is the white nationalism that we were talking about. When people didn't believe us about white nationalism, now they believe it.
I get one more question for
Mm.
my good brother Icon. One more question. One more question. Because he
We're not
bring
trying
up
to extend the show for another hour here, I see. But go ahead,
no
brother.
no no that's the last question because he raised some points. Because Icon bring up the homosexual issue, and I understand Icon, and I ain't far from it, I ain't far from it. But I got ask Icon something. So you can't vote for the homosexual vote because of the Democrats, but Donald Trump and Epstein is best friends, brethren. So he on Peter Island. So which one is my thing is which one is better than which? You know what I mean? You got the pedo or the homo. So it's like I want you to answer that. I want you to answer that. I go on.
Um, well, well, the Democrats are the headmasters of that anyway. You feel me? Yeah. The Democrats and the homos, they're the headmasters of all that. So it's the same thing. Um, the reason why I be stating things like this is men should be tough. Men should be rough. You should have blisters on your in your hands and your elbows. Your elbows should be, you feel me, rough. You should go in dirt and plant stuff and all that stuff. You're not supposed to be out here being all feminine and stuff. You feel me? So what they want to do, the Democrats, if they had won, if they had won, there would be at least maybe um 50% more homos coming out the closet type shit. They would have homo 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 teaching as black history. That's what the Democrats was doing. The Democrats was planning on treating us like crabs or the frog that you put in cold water but in a pot and light up a fire under it. And then you never notice until that the pot is gonna be hot until it's too late. That's that's how the Democrat do black people. You hear? They they slowly kill you. And they stab you in the back. They don't come with a knife in front of you. So that's what the Democrats is doing. They promote abortion and then they promote homo business. So all the women be sleeping in hotels together and they want that for men also. You understand? And that just spells less people in the world, especially black people. You feel me? Because they
So
don't know. They don't know nothing that's going on. And that nasty type of look, I don't want to pass those buggers beside, on the street. I don't want them tricking the youth, making the youth think that that thing was a female. I don't like that type of stuff. It shouldn't be around children. It shouldn't be appearing like that around children. That's sexual abuse. You
So really
understand?
quickly, I wanna, and I can fire and Cheryl. So what you guys are talking about is accelerationism, right? Well, the conditions are already bad, right? And the hope is if we accelerate the bad conditions, right, then that'll prompt the people to make a change. Clarence Thomas, the Supreme Court justice, is a big believer in accelerationism. He believes that black people will not respond unless their backs are completely against the wall. What that does is that it hurts a lot of people, and it doesn't even work. It doesn't work. So I hear what everybody's saying, but you cannot name one instance. Even now, more people are being united. Are they really? Because more people are out on the street, more people are stuck, more people losing their jobs.
Okay.
But
All right.
I don't see the benefit to that.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, then tell me which administration you ever seen tampering with with housing security, housing, social housing, and food stamps. Which one? Which one? Reagan, name it.
All of them. Reagan definitely.
None of
Reagan.
them never. None of them never withdrew. I don't understand. Go ahead.
But Reagan was, Reagan was all about the whole thing about the welfare queen and the people buying buying sticks of their food stamps. So Reagan was actually the one who put it in process. Then it was Bush and Clinton who came up with the right to work. Every administration.
Yeah, but they never withdrew anything.
No, they've
It's
never taken
new.
it away
This the
completely, but they
first
chip
time.
away at it over and over again. Even
This
Trump
the
hasn't taken it away completely.
this the first time we're seeing it being so radical.
But why is that a good thing, though?
Well, okay, okay. For the black
I'm
family,
sorry,
right?
I don't want to see black children go hungry. I'm sorry, I don't
Let
want to
me
see.
let me just say this. Let me just say this, right? For the black family needs treatment. The black family needs women and men to live together, whether they poor or not. This is what's going on. The relationships are splitting up. Pure baby daddies and baby mamas thing going on, and the family is being split down the middle and being destroyed. You feel me? And one of the main things that's destroying it, as I said earlier, is that they never gave men public housing. They never gave men the opportunity for food stamps, in which the men are the ones who was supposed to get that, and that would make a rounded family. That would maintain a rounded family for black and white. But what happened is they did it the other way. So when they gave women public housing, what they did is make the woman uh uh uh, uh, uh promiscuous. They made the woman automatically become promiscuous and degrade herself. You feel me? And they know that. They know that's what's gonna go on. You feel me? And then they put it in a way where she can't keep one man. So she end up have a lot of different baby daddies. And that's what the society is doing. And it's all because of you gave the woman a house. What is she gonna do? Put a man up? And even if she could, you said no. So the real way things supposed to go is a man supposed to put a woman up. You feel me? And that would be balanced. So that's what destroyed women, including white women also. You feel me? Because they gave women independence from men. You feel me? Both housing and even food. So it destroy the family. And I don't know about the rest of the family, but it destroyed the black family. It caused the woman not to see a reason to stay with each other, and a rift. So taking this away, I think it might be good. I think it might be good. Maybe a woman now maybe consider um about leave first before she leaves her man, because
So the
the
only way to
economy.
get the woman to stay, they put her back to the wall. That's what we're saying. Only way we can get women to stay is if she's destitute and has no other choice.
It's not all right. It's listen. That's the reason she did it. That's the reason they got her to do it. So I think it would be logical that if you want things back the right way, you maybe have to take away these what you'd call um um it, parasitic privilege. It is parasitic privilege. It you it's something that destroy her family. You feel me? And you so, so so you don't see it that way? Don't you see it that way?
No, I don't. We can agree to disagree, though.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
you think that? Go ahead, sweetie.
I didn't know Icon was a hardcore Republican.
Um, okay.
That's why. That's why.
Um,
That's why.
I didn't know it was you, my bro. You know, I didn't know it was you, my
It's
bro.
good. It's good
But
though. It's
yeah,
good.
yeah, I have some. No, listen, we black people, Africans, we black people are actually conservative peoples. We have some liberalism, but we ain't totally liberal. We ain't liberal. We don't tolerate a bunch of stuff. What are you talking about? And who can tolerate their females roaming around the town? Women supposed to get married. Women supposed to get married at like 18, 19. That they don't get to. That they don't have the town running red. That's how it's supposed to be. But the society is trying to destroy. The society just don't know what genuine is and don't want genuine anymore. You feel me? Because that's what's going on. They're destroying characters. They want to destroy characters. They prefer the economy. It's like, how can an economy that owns slaves and rule off corruption, they don't know how to put things back in real place. But we are in general actually conservative. The liberalism is just coming through. All that stuff is just coming through since they got the propaganda going on. Am I lying? Um, um, Caribbean, Barbados dude, Bahamas dude. If you,
Icon. No, what I would say is this. What I would say is this. I want you to stay out of politics. I don't, because what you talking, the position you taking, right, is if we are a independent black country, how the independent black country is run, right? You are in the United States of America, right? And I understand your position, right? But in America, you can't. I mean, you could vote however the hell you want to vote, but most black people feel their grievance coming from a different place and perspective. And because we're coming from a different place and perspective, you have to respect that, brethren.
no,
If you
no,
was
no, no,
independent,
no, no, no.
okay, okay,
I listen. No, I'm agreeing with a particular demographic of the American public, of the Black American public. You feel me? A lot of Black Americans, um, um, I this is how they see things. You feel me?
yeah,
Especially,
but But Trump don't love black people, Icon. He don't love black people, brethren.
No,
And
but
he love white people.
I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about black people. I ain't talking about Trump them. You feel me? I take the right to speak about all black people without being afraid. I ain't afraid of nobody when it comes to speaking about my people. You feel me? Yeah, that part.
Yeah,
No, I hear that.
let's get some. You guys been going back and forth from. We ain't hear from Jacadero. I ain't too sure we hear from Black Steel proper. Black Steel, did I hear from you properly?
I was the first one to speak actually, but so I'm good. I'm just sitting over here.
Jacadero, Jacadero, you've been listening to everything everyone else had to say. What say you?
I'm gonna be honest. There was so much dialogue that I don't remember the topic at hand from relating to the clip. The clip basically, this guy was explaining on why Americans fell in love with Donald Trump, and okay, so the secret to Trump's success, and one of the things that he pointed out that stood out to me was he said that um, he maybe Trump and his team realized that because of the lore, LORE. People love lore, and so his Trump's show, the Apprentice, was quote unquote reality TV, and so Trump and his team were saying, if in fact this really happened, because I don't take Trump to be a smart guy. Like I'm not with this whole. I'm not on the train where some black people are saying like, "Oh, Trump is a genius." I've never looked at Trump as somebody that was intelligent. This might be a little bit biased, but just watching him. I mean, I've seen a lot of white men living in America on TV. Trump was not one of these people that I was like, this guy could hold his own. No. So if in fact his team was saying to themselves that let's try to turn The Apprentice into a presidential campaign, and then once we get that Oval Office and let's go, let's set the Oval Office into a TV studio. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he just got lucky. Like I don't think enough of us just realize like in their country, again, we're in their country. No matter what that pan multiculturalist guy said earlier, we're in their country. When you're in their country, like things are supposed to work out for you, and he just got really, really fortunate. Everything that he's been doing so far has been really fortunate. Again, this is a guy that last election he lost, and 3 states that he lost, ironically, were the 3 states that he won. that still mind boggles me. 3 states: Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia.
You know why?
Go ahead.
Because people was nauseous of the Democrats. People was
Okay.
nauseous.
All right. Yeah. Hold on, Icon. So to relating the secret to Donald Trump's success, I mean, maybe this was him planning. I think a lot of us should take into account like what happens when you plan and when you successfully execute a good plan. I will give him that, because I did think I saw a clip from maybe the 80s or the early 90s, him talking about if he were to ever get into politics, what side of politics would he be on? So maybe this was careful planning. And so I'll give him that. If it was planning and he got into that seat, great, because it's the same way that Kenya's President William Ruto had planned to become the president even back in the days of being a chicken farmer. So I will say that, like good job to him, because I do like it when men, just in general, I like it when men win, and especially when men can plan strategically and execute a plan. So I'll give him that. I never thought that I would actually give Wazungu props, but we're gonna give him props just because planning is good, especially when you execute plan. Do I think he's intelligent? Absolutely not. No. I just think that he just got really, really lucky, and he's just been getting lucky. He's just been getting lucky, and good for him. It says a lot though about how this might relate, this might not relate, but mediocre Wazungu in the United States, they get the best. They climb status. For those that are in the music world, for the longest time, at least for the past 15 years, a country singer named Taylor Swift has arguably been labeled as a mediocre white woman. From the song lyrics to the singing to her stage performances, nothing stands out. But she gets top of the top accolades, top of the top acknowledgments. She's almost like white America's Beyonce, for lack of a better phrase. And so I think just in the United States, again, it's their country, is that when you're mediocre, but when you can do it at a high level, you're going to get rewarded. And I would just like to see more African countries do that. But the thing is, what Dr. Umar Ifatunde said once, he was like, we can't be mediocre because just being Black itself is extraordinary. So it won't happen to us the way that it happens in the United States. But again, the secret to Trump's success, you just whiten America, man. And good job for America, because it just shows us how, like, nobody should be losing to this country. Nobody on any level. Nobody should be losing to this country. I think it was Black Steel that said it earlier. If countries that have a huge population of cattle herders or goat herders, I think he was referring to like those countries in the Mideast. Afghanistan took the United States to a 20-year war and told the United States, hey, get the fuck out of our country. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're not this big bad wolf that everybody thinks that you are. North Korea, every 5 years, they're always challenging the U.S. like, yo, send them missiles. Send them bombs that you be talking about. We want the smoke. They never send them. Pakistan has nukes or has nuclear weapons if they don't have nukes, and they've never gotten invaded. They always get threatened, but even India knows better. Like, hey, you can try it, yeah, but it ain't gonna happen. So, man, yeah, I hope I didn't go too much off topic. There was a lot that was said. I don't think it's anything. I don't think Trump should be impressive. I'm not impressed with him. Never been.
Appreciate that a bunch. That's the last topic for tonight, actually. I'd like to before people leave, because for some reason when it's time to give a shout out, people start to dash. But I'd like to get you guys to give me a shout out. Anything positive you saw in the Black world or that happened in your neck of the woods this past week. Just give me a shout out. Chat, do the same. I'll read your shout outs on the screen. Let me just go right down the line. We start with Jackadale. Jackadale, what's your shout out this week?
Two big shout outs. One, man, we in Kenya, we lost a career politician, arguably one of the most impactful politicians in Kenyan politics history, and his name was Raila Odinga. He passed away this week, and man, when I say career politician, he ran for president 5 different times, starting in the 90s, all the way up until 2022. He never got the seat, but he was always in government. Kenya's, some say second because of, according to the constitution that was changed in 2010, but he was the prime minister of Kenyan's government at least once. And again, a career politician. My mom's area of Kibra in Nairobi, he was the minister of parliament for that area for 17 years. So impactful that Vibes Cartel gave him his due tribute in a recent video. And just people all over that I didn't think that paid attention to Kenyan politics, gave their respects. So big shout out to uh, the entire world that gave their respects to Raila Odinga. And then second shout out, the Empowerment Network. For those that don't know, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, and I represent on behalf of the Empowerment Network. We call ourselves the consultant's consultant. We take care of everything from trade work, real estate, infrastructure, STEM programs, youth crime prevention, and everything outside and in between. We partner with sister cities: Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, that's right, Little Rock, Arkansas, Houston, Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Kansas City, Missouri, and everything outside and in between. Once again, that's the Empowerment Network. Every year we put on a conference called the Rebuilding a Village Conference. 2 years ago, our keynote speaker was Magic Johnson. And then this year it was now our first Black mayor, Mayor John Ewing. You want to be a part of the Empowerment Network? You want to come to the Rebuilding a Village Conference? Go ahead and reach on out to us. That's Facebook Empowerment Network and www.empoweromaha.com, the official website of the #1 Black empowerment organization here in the Midwest.
Appreciate that, Jack Adero. Black Steel, what got to show this week?
Just want to shout out D'Angelo passed away, famous singer, 51 years old, pancreatic cancer. But my brothers, so many of us are dying at a young age. Just make sure you get checked out, man. Make sure you get checked out. Watch your health, eat right, exercise. Get checked out by your doctor, because we lost a good one. You know, that one kind of hurt because I grew up on his music. He only came out with 3 albums, but each of his albums was an absolute banger. But even though, like I said, 51 is still a young man, so rest in peace to him. And I'm thinking about his son, because his mother, Angie Stone, died from a car accident not even a few months ago. So his son lost both of his parents in a very short period of time. So thinking about him in this situation. So that's the only thing I have to say.
Yeah, you took my shout out, but yes, shout out to Black Steel, and shout out to him for shouting out D'Angelo, man. That's a heavy loss because you don't see D'Angelo all the time, but every 10 years or something, he'll drop an album that's fire. And when you hear about him now, is that he died. That's kind of tough, right? But appreciate that, Black Steel. With that said, Sister Cheryl, what would you like to shout out this week?
I be scrambling, just trying to look for something positive. I found this young girl in the area of science and tech, young Black American girl. Her name is Deja Taylor, 17 years old. She was honored for creating a color changing sutures that can detect infection. That was something that she entered into the Regeneron Science Talent Search. So that's in the field of tech. There's another young, I think is that a girl? Man, I think that's a girl, where she developed an app to help kids keep in touch with their parents who are incarcerated. And pretty much that was just cutting out costly prison phone and mail fees. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know that was a big thing, but apparently they have an app for that now. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, both of those are pretty cool. Thanks for sharing that with us. I appreciate you, Sister Cheryl, for being here this week. So shout out to you, actually, because you came through and hung with us for pretty much all the prompts we did tonight. And like I said before, and I say every week almost, we really do need that
Yeah.
that woman's intuition, that woman's thought on some topics. I'm sorry, you want to add something?
Oh no, I'm good.
So yeah, so thanks to you, and shout out to your husband too, by the way.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Mhm.
yeah. I can file. What would you like to shout out this week?
Yeah. Shout out to everyone on the panel. I also would like to shout out Namibia, people of Namibia. You feel me? President of Namibia. Um, I like her behavior. And shout out to the Sahel. You feel me? And shout out to Kenya. That's it.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Last but not least, Bon, who would you like to shout out this week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you can hear me,
Yeah, we
shout
got
out.
it.
Yeah, shout out first of all to D'Angelo. He made one of the greatest records ever. That Voodoo album was one of the greatest albums ever. So shout out to his talent and his gifts. You know what I mean? He's with the ancestors now. Shout out to him, bro. Shout out to Black Steel and Icon Fire. Even though they are completely different, they are on two different sides of politics. They was able to carry on a civil discussion. This Icon Fire I really appreciate. You know what I mean? Right? I like the fact that he was able to have a brotherly conversation even though we disagree. So shout out to Icon.
Lightning.
Let me finish, right? Let me finish. So shout out to Icon
Fire.
Fire and Black Steel for
Burning,
having.
burning.
Let me finish. Let me finish, brother. So shout out to the two brothers for having a civil discussion, even though they disagree. Shout out to them and to Icon Fire. Last but not least, Icon Fire love black people. He love black people, and I know he love black people. But in America, black people are Republican. That's just a matter of fact. That's a matter of fact. And but I would say the only thing I would ask, you love black people, regardless of where they come from. You're in America. Don't actively do nothing to harm them if it means voting for people like a white supremacist like Donald Trump, brother. Just consider that. Just consider. I say you want to do what
Oh
you want
no,
to do.
I didn't vote. I didn't vote because I think it's none of my business. You feel
Yes, sir.
me?
Yes, sir.
So I
So
didn't vote. I just said
yes, sir.
that if I would vote, um um it almost wouldn't matter what the Republicans is doing as long as they're against homos. I would vote for them. You feel me?
I I hear you. So
Yeah,
that's yeah. So that's really all I wanted to say. Respect to all the
yeah.
brothers. Icon.
Respect,
Yeah.
respect
So
hosts, respect my people.
yeah. So if Kofi come on, because Kofi and I mean yeah, the hardcore Democrats. If they come on, I would like to hear y'all engagement. But I appreciate the conversation and respect to everyone. I'll leave it there.
Yes, indeed. So that's the show for tonight. We should be back next week. I might, based on how my computer is carrying on, I have to ask Jackadera to host. But we'll see how that goes. In any event, join the Discord if you haven't already, and be active on the Discord, man. When you see the add everyone type thing, is a conversation that I think everyone should be able to chime in with. I hit an ad last week. I'll do it again tomorrow for music of the week. Drop your music. I know Black Steel spoke on it. D Web spoke on it. I'll drop another one this week. You guys add music. I mean, we're from all over the world here. We got folks in the Caribbean, folks from West Africa, East Africa, uh, Black America, etc. So, please do your part. Drop some music, but it might be D'Angelo this week, right? For a lot of you. So drop it. Let's put together a top 10 and let's engage one another as much as we can. In any event, man, I'll see you guys next week. Oh, by the way, sorry. Trigger Happy, his shout out is he watched Hiru Ofori Atta's presentation on health. Really good information and kind of relates here. Shouts out to him. So shout out to all of you. Shout out to Sister Raw, Sister Cheryl, the matron, Daily Affirmations by Pauline, Joe, all the women who participated tonight in the chat, etc. Shout out to all of you. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, you guys be good. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast with your host, Koku. If you like what you just heard, we hope you pass along our web address, bittermedicineblogs.com, to your friends and colleagues, and share our show to all your social media. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. This has been a KWAZ radio production. Join us next time for another session of the Bitter Medicine Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Bitter Medicine Show, Twitter, Bitter Meds, Tumblr, Bitter Meds, Instagram, Bitter Medicine.